Hey Warriors fans, I'm Thomas Mott. Welcome into Chat Sports, and today we have a fresh Golden State Warriors news and rumors video here. It is the offseason. I always start these news and rumor videos because saying and prefacing, it is the offseason, so no groundbreaking news, but there's always things going on in and around the world of the Golden State Warriors. We'll jump right into it, but first, gonna be doing a Warriors mailbag. Haven't done one in a little bit, so next couple days maybe. Let's see how many questions we get down below. That'll definitely have a factor in when I release it. Use the hashtag Warriors, get a question in down below, and I'll probably answer it in a recent or in a upcoming mailbag video. Again, you guys have any questions for me? Let me know. I will answer them if you go hashtag Warriors down below. All right, starting with Steve Kerr's comments on the losses of Klay Thompson and Kevin Durant. Now, let's start by saying this. I see a lot of comments on these videos about how, and I bring up Durant too much, we're past Durant, Durant doesn't matter. I know, I am too. But when Steve Kerr, our head coach, decides to go ahead and bring up Kevin Durant, then I have to report on what he said. Now remember, basically the Warriors lost Kevin Durant and Klay Thompson back during the NBA Finals of last year. Now Durant would wait a little bit longer to decide to go to Brooklyn, and of course Klay Thompson is coming back, but as of right now, both are going to be gone from the Golden State Warriors for the majority of this season. Durant, obviously, the entire season. Klay Thompson back March, April, May, depending on when the ACL fully heals. Steve Kerr, though, has a very interesting quote we'll show you guys right now, talking about how basically he thinks that the loss of Klay Thompson is way more important, way bigger than Kevin Durant. Here's the quote. Klay being out is really the big change. Losing Kevin, Andre, Shaun, obviously those are huge losses. Losing Kevin on top of all that, or losing Klay on top of all that, really changed the way we're going to have to play at both ends. Now, this is a great topic to bring up to you guys to help debate on which is a bigger loss for the Golden State Warriors going into this season. Now, it's very easy to go, well, you know, Durant's the best scorer in the league, one of the top players in the entire NBA, top players of his generation. I mean, Durant is special, right? He's an all-time player. But does he get too much love from the media, and does Klay, because he's quiet, is the number 2, number 3 option on a team, kind of get a little bit, silence pushback from the media at all, making it seem like he's an easier choice to not be the biggest loss for the Warriors this offseason. Here are the stats comparing them. Again, it's hard to compare it as well. Durant averaging more points, averaging more rebounds, averaging more assists, and shoots a little bit better from 3. But again, let me just argue in favor of Steve Kerr here, saying that Klay Thompson is a bigger factor. Now, Durant can guard both ends. Yes, Durant is a great defender. But Klay Thompson is also an elite defender and a great scorer who doesn't need the basketball in his hands to be a great scorer. Like, you're talking about the amount of games he has where he takes like 3 dribbles the entire night. It's all catch and shoot, catch, 1 dribble, shoot. He's fantastic in that. And I think really, is a part of the offense that the Warriors really want to run this offseason. That's why Kerr is saying that Thompson is a bigger loss. Now, with that being said, if this team had Kevin Durant right now, would they be the favorites in the Western Conference to go to the NBA Finals without Klay Thompson? You put Durant on that team without Klay Thompson? Yes, although I would still argue that with Klay Thompson right now, without Durant and the rest of the Warriors that are here, obviously with Steph and with D'Angelo and all those players, I think they would still be one of the top 2, if not top 3 favorites in the entire Western Conference. So Klay will come back and he should be fine, but I'm curious what you guys think about this, because again, I see the argument on both sides. I see saying Durant's more important because Durant's a way better player. And I see the argument saying, well, Klay, fits in with the culture, meshes well with Steph Curry, does what Klay Thompson, or does what Steve Kerr wants him to do, plays great defense. I see both arguments, so I will leave it up to you guys. Which loss is bigger going into the start of this season? Klay Thompson to the injury or Kevin Durant to Brooklyn? Let me know in the comments down below. This next story, fascinating, right? This is interesting. So Draymonds Green, who recently signed a 4-year, $100 million deal, was talking to the media and telling people about all his different investment campaigns and investment ideas, and he kind of slipped out that he wants to play another 10 years in the NBA. Now, Draymond is 29 years old, but this all came to be because he's made a number of off-court investments. There's some company in the article where he invested a lot of money into it, and they just went public, and now they're worth like $9 billion, and he has 40 shares of the company. So he just became like a multi-millionaire. He already was, but he's going to be approaching the B number, billionaire, probably at some point in his career. And so he talked about how, hey, I'm doing well, but I also would like to, work on my off-the-court stuff and all my investments, but I'm still going to be playing for 10 years. Here's exactly what he said. 10 years from now, excuse me, I'd like to be retired from the NBA, engaged in a number of business ventures, and well on my way to my goal of becoming a billionaire. He is well on his way to his goal becoming that, because now he's able to invest in a lot more assets and stuff like that. But here's the thing about playing another 10 years. I think us in Golden State would be fine with the current physique, the current physical Draymond Green that we have playing another 10 years, but will he actually be at that point? The numbers kind of run up like this, and the article actually said it. So Green has averaged almost 94 games a year. That's regular season and postseason. At that rate, he would end up playing 1,593 games in his career if he played 10 more seasons. That would put him second all-time on the NBA games played list in the history of the NBA. He would be second all-time, which is just ridiculous. So can he play another 10 years in the NBA at the level that they're playing at? Probably not, but you gotta remember, there are plenty of basketball players who have played into their late 30s. He's only 29 years old, so we'll see how much longer he stays in Golden State. But the role would reduce as we get further along. It's just interesting that he would put a number on it saying, yeah, I got 10 more years, and 10 more years seems crazy. Think about where you will be right now in 10 years. But we'll see what happens with Draymond Green. A question I have for you guys, though, how much longer will Draymond be a Warrior? Because in the modern NBA, will Draymond, if he does play the next 10 years, be a Warrior for the next 10, or would he move around? I mean, the NBA is all about player mobility right now, and I don't see him staying the entire time. But so then the question is, how much longer will he be a Warrior? Remember, he is signed for the next couple of years under this contract extension, so it feels like as long as Steph and Klay are there, they'll keep Draymond around. But at the same time, I don't know. It's fascinating to see someone who's doing well off the court still want to play on the court. Shows his love for the game. That's what we've known him to be here in Golden State for a very long time. Let me know down below, though, how many years left Draymond Green will be a Warrior. Okay, next, SI.com released their top potential 100 players in the NBA this coming season. So naturally, I took a little dive and decided to figure out, well, how many Warriors are on the list, and where do the Warriors rank in the top 100 potential players of 2019. 4 Warriors made the list. You're probably thinking them at the top of your head, right? Draymond Green, Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, and D'Angelo Russell are all on there. But to me, it seemed like D'Angelo Russell and Klay Thompson were very, very low on this list. So Steph Curry's number 4, which makes sense because you have LeBron, you have KD when he gets healthy, you have, I'm blanking on who I'm thinking, Kawhi whenever he's there, you have Anthony Davis, you have elite players right there. Now, they're in the same class as Steph Curry, but the national media will always pick LeBron over Steph, just how it works. So, Steph at 4, Draymond Green at 17. I think Draymond in the top 20 makes a lot of sense because he's one of the best 4s in the entire NBA. I like that one there. Here's where it gets a little bit interesting. So, D'Angelo Russell was rated the 44th best player in the NBA. Remember, coming off an All-Star appearance last year, okay? Just remember that. Career high, 21 points, all that stuff. Klay Thompson, and I guess we got to preface this probably means because of the knee, was the 58th rated best player in the NBA in this SI.com's prediction for the top 100 players of 2019. Now, again, that probably is because of the injury. But at the same time, when he's fresh, would they actually have bumped him up like 30 spots? Like, would he have been in the top 20 where he belongs? I don't know. It was interesting. It was an interesting list overall. You can always Google it and check it out if you guys want to see where everyone else is on this list. But Curry at 4, Draymond at 17, D'Angelo Russell at 44, and Klay Thompson at 58, to me, is a little bit low on those final 2 guys. I think you probably still make the argument that Steph could be top 3. But again, you got LeBron, you got KD, you got Kawhi. It's like, you know how the national media works. They love those guys more than Steph. But again, I digress. Go ahead and check out that article. And let me know where you guys would rank D'Angelo Russell and Klay Thompson. Very curious where you guys would have them right now on the potential top 100 players in the NBA next season. All right, a couple of little bits of news here. This happened a couple days ago, but Shaun Livingston is calling it a career. He's officially retired from the NBA, playing 15 seasons for the league, 5 of which, his final 5, were in Golden State. We have a great debt to pay to Shaun Livingston, the ultimate backup point guard who never ran his mouth, never complained about minutes, played great defense, could come in and start, whenever Steph was having his ankle injuries. And Steph Curry shows the appreciation on the Instagram post, which you see on your screen right now. No lost love between those 2 guys. Shaun Livingston was a massive part of the Golden State Warriors championship runs over the past couple of years. We're very grateful for what he did in the NBA. One of those guys, you look at his career stats, 6 points, 3 assists, 50% from the field, basically. You're like, okay, that's not that special. But you always felt like whenever he came in, especially in those postseason runs, when he came in, backup point guard, they were going to be okay. Like, there were so many times, that, excuse me, especially in the Cavs series, where Livingston would come in, and the offense would not miss a step because he was able to create his own shot and still be able to score layup or from the free throw line or his little, mid-range jump shot that we're so used to seeing Shaun Livingston do. So I feel like Warrior fans will appreciate Shaun Livingston, obviously way more than national media fans, but it was good to see Steph Curry, I think, show his love in the Instagram post because, again, this was the guy who replaced you whenever you needed a break and replaced you whenever you were down with those injuries throughout his entire career. So hats off to Shaun Livingston. Happy trails with whatever he does, and I hope that he has a great future in whatever he decides to do, whether it's broadcasting or investing or coaching or whatever he wants to do. Remember, the Warriors said there's an open place next to Steve Kerr on the bench if he ever wants to come and do some coaching, so we'll have to see what happens with that. And finally here, I don't know if this is the Warriors news and rumors or House Hunters International video, but there is some news that I figure I'll throw on here because we throw the news in. Steph Curry is changing zip codes. Wow, this is crazy breaking news. Okay, I'm making fun of it. It really isn't, but it's kind of interesting. So Steph Curry is moving houses to get closer to the new Chase Center inside downtown San Francisco, because making Golden State's actual arena Oracle, and then you gotta come across and do all that kind of stuff. Yeah, we all know. But it's interesting from the fact that he is moving houses. Did this whole, secret, not secret, but, non-listed house, that way you can't quite figure out where it is. You go through an agent who kind of, does it backdoor. Not like anything shady, but, that way the average bloke couldn't just go oh, Steph Curry's home. Oh, yeah, here it is on, apartments.com or whatever. It's a $31 million mansion, though. We figured it out. In Atherton, which is the wealthiest neighborhood in the nation. Shocker that Steph Curry has a ton of money. It's this 3-level massive thing, and again, the whole goal is to be closer to the Chase Center here because we reported this 2 or 3 weeks ago. The Chase Center is the new central hub for the Warriors. So all their basketball operations, their practices, everything will be happening there instead of having 2 different sites, Oracle and the other practice facility that they've had in the past. So it makes sense for Steph Curry to go ahead and change locations and move a little bit closer. And obviously, the new Chase Center opens up on October 24th when the Warriors have their home opener against the LA Clippers and Kawhi Leonard. Going to be a lot of fun for that one. But overall, this was news that I guess I would share with you just because we had time on the end of this video, and I figure you never know. Maybe you want to think about what it would be like to live in a $31 million mansion in the richest neighborhood in the United States. I don't know. That's not where I live. Maybe one day, but obviously not right now. All right, again, final question here, I guess. Get your Warriors mailbags questions in as soon as possible using the hashtag Warriors down below because I will be answering your questions in a mailbag video, hopefully in the coming days. So if you got any NBA, any Warriors questions you want to ask me about my personal life, I probably won't answer, but you never know. Go ahead and scroll down below. So use the hashtag Warriors and then ask me a question. I'll try to have it going forward in a future, hopefully this week, mailbag video. There we go. That's all the news that's happening in and around the Golden State Warriors. For Chat Sports, I'm Thomas Mott. Be sure to subscribe down below as we sign off. Enjoy the rest of your day.